I think most people would love to learn how to not worry. Like people think, hey, if I worry about this, maybe there's something that I can do about it. If I can think of something that can go wrong, maybe I can avoid it, something like that. So there are some positive aspects of worrying, right? So when we were in, when human beings were young, there were those who went out and they had no worries and they would hunt for the tigers, and they were people, there was one who had lots of worries and they stayed in a tree and they didn't do it, and most of the time, the people who survived, they had some worries. They weren't the guy that always went out and went after the boar and went after the tiger, right? Because sooner or later, that guy gets killed, right? So there's got to be a mixture. So the challenge comes when we have those worries that are not productive. And you talked about something that's very interesting when you said you checked yourself. Is that something that you learned from someone else? Is that something that someone told you, or is that something that just came through?
So I believe in control. I love controlling things. I am super type A in many regards. But then I also know there's things I can't control. And those things that I can't control, I can't harp on. I can't change it. I can't control what you're wearing right now. I can't control, so much stuff. So I decide, can I control that? If not, I have to let it go. And I make that decision, let it go. My refrigerator died last night, just died. I could have freaked out. I'd be like, oh, that's a $2,000 refrigerator. Gosh darn it. All the food's going to go up. Well, it happened. Can I control it? Can I make my refrigerator work again? I can't. And so some people would still be agonizing. You know what I did? I went out and I bought a freaking refrigerator today. So I didn't like having to do it. I mean, that's $2,000 to buy something you already had isn't a good time, but it's already punishing me by taking my money. It's not going to take up time in my head. And so I think knowing the difference. And then once you've decided, I can't worry about this, like worrying isn't going to benefit me, choose distractions. For me, quite often it's exercise. Anytime I feel like stress of something, I go straight to the gym or I hit a trail. I just get outside, I move. I know how to distract myself from whatever's going on. And so think about the things that distract you. Is it great music? Is it going for a ride? Is it playing with your dogs? Is it getting involved with your kids? Whatever it is, do that thing. And yeah, did I have to make time fly by while I was waiting for this information with cancer? I did. But in my mind, I thought, well, whatever's going on there is already going on. What if it's just some calcification or some fluid filled something? What a dummy I would have been for having a stomach ache for 8 days, So I don't know. Does that make sense to you?
Well, it makes sense. And I'm glad you brought up, I think, something that's very important. You talked about a distraction, because for most people, it's not that people don't have negative thoughts. People don't have worry. The difference is usually that people who are better, who say that they don't worry very much, or what they do is when the worry comes in, they get rid of it quickly, right? So they push it out. Right. And there's lots of different ways to do it. Different people have different ways of doing it. Sometimes it's saying something out loud, like, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm not going, that works for some people. And people use tapping. There are all kinds of different techniques, but you're talking about something that I think is really important, is a distraction, right? And in your case, what you have is a very healthy distraction, right? Because there are healthy distractions. There are less healthy distractions. Even a healthy distraction can be, unhealthy if taken to the extreme, right? But it certainly doesn't sound like that's at all the case for you. But your healthy distraction was exercise. And people, it sounds like you're a people person.
Very much so. Very much so. And, if I would have said, oh, I found a lump, I don't like that, I'm going to ignore it. Well, that would be moronic distraction, right? But I took action where I could. And then I just made the most of the days. Again, I know it's much easier to be a Tigger than an Eeyore. It's so much easier. And I genuinely feel and have empathy for people whose gut instinct is to agonize. But can you make change? And this is my whole business is about, is compelling people to do better and be better. And yes, it's about exercise and nutrition and sleep. But it's also that mental fortitude, those choices we have. And I couldn't change the fact that I have cancer or had cancer. I like to say had in past tense, but I chose my doctors. I found the A team, and boy, did I trust them. They recommended a treatment plan. I knew it was within my power to say, I approve that treatment plan, or I think it's stupid, I'm going elsewhere. And so having control over as much as possible really goes a long way. And yeah, it may sound a little, I don't know, excessive, my attitude, but it works. It works for me. And I tell you what, I've been spending decades bossing people around, and these are learnable skills. And other people are doing better successfully in their personal relationships, their professional experiences, and with their own health because they've adopted these, simple decisions to control what you can and try and get past the things that you can't, at least for the moment.